What's up, guys? All right, new project vehicle. I know I got too many cars already, but this is something that I've always, you see them online. Uh, they used to be cheap, and then Finnegan bought one, or two, or three, or four. I don't know how many Finnegan bought. All of a sudden, now they're hard to find, and people want way too much money for them. Up here in Canada, they're even more rare because we don't have the limits like the States does with the 55 mile per hour rule, and this, if you're towing a trailer and your length, there's not really rules how long your trailer can be. And anyway, so I didn't need one of these. I already have an enclosed trailer, but I just see them. I've got a whole Pinterest board of them saved. And then I just happened to be on Facebook Marketplace, searched up, you know how that goes. You type in a search, and then their new algorithms is amazing, because if you've ever typed anything in, even if there's not one there, you don't even type the thing in, and 4 weeks later someone lists something that you typed in that just happens to, boom, there it is. So I'm always searching the interwebs, and I think my wife thinks I'm a little bit nuts, but I think it's cool. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you what we bought. She's a project. 19-foot bed beaver tail, 8-foot wide. Ramptruck. She ain't much to look at yet, but I tell you what, this thing's gonna look sweet with this old Pontiac aired out on the back of her. So she's a 460 C6 tranny. It's automatic. It's two different colors because the truck's from Oregon, and obviously original color is actually green. You can see it here. That's the original color there, dark green. And they got painted white at some point. And then guy that I got the truck from, who just happens to live down the road from me, he has a whole bunch of these in his backyard, and he happened to have the XLT, an XLT that was rust free with the two-tone trim on it. So he swapped everything over. Rust free fenders, rust free doors, they're perfect. Rockers on this are perfect. It's a carpet truck, which is surprising. Needs a clean out. I'm probably gonna rip this old carpet out. It's got a bench seat out of a 90s Ford, I believe. I got a headliner for it already. Just gotta put it in. Old school tuck and roll. I got new door panel, well, new to me door panels. I'm gonna put black door panels in it. Gauge bezel is missing, but I've got one of those for it. It's got a new dash pad. And so the story of the truck is, well, these doors, by the way, these doors. Oh, beauty, money. It's old Fords, you know. They know how to make a door shut nice. They're just like, oh, doesn't get any better than that. So don't worry about this. This is all galvanized. It's gonna get painted. Hood's pretty good shape. There's no buckle in the rib there. Only bit of rust is surface rust here. Don't worry about that. Floors are good. There's one spot on this side about that big that you probably push a screwdriver through on. It's actually not even where your feet go. It's in like the seam that's where your the two panels meet, basically. The spot weld together. Cab corners are nice. No holes, no rust. Solid. Truck's from Oregon, so same as my 54 green Chev. Everybody knows that thing come from Oregon, and she's over here, but that thing is clean, like no rust. So I know we're out here in BC. Oregon is very much the same as BC in a lot of ways, where they've got some desert, they got some forest, they got the ocean. They're kind of very similar to us that way. So all depends where these things come from, if they're going to be clean or not. But my guess is both of these trucks come from somewhere dry. And I don't think they got the winters like we do here, so they don't probably salt the roads like we do. And check out that sick push bumper. I am totally leaving that thing on because that is cool. That is a bygone era. You do not have a wrecker. Well, they used to call these wreckers, by the way, not tow trucks. You would not get away pushing someone's car out of the road with one of those. But this thing is sick. It's made for this truck. It follows the contour of the truck. It's all steel all the way. This rubber belting. It's mounted to the frame, like really good, a huge chunk of C-channel. But yeah, I love it because these trucks, they have a small chrome bumper normally. But like that thing is just mean. So, other story. So it's a 79 front clip on this thing. The truck's actually a 77. So I like the 79s on a 4-wheel drive truck, you know, jacked up. But I kind of like the more old school round headlight, split grill 77. So I'll probably switch that grill out back. So it's less confusion, and I just think they'll get on 2-wheel drives. There's some more old school. There's, let's see, there's 2 matching dents. One right here, hard to see it. One there. One there, both sides. So I gotta fix that. This thing is super farmer, so that's coming off. Yeah, I got some plans for this. It's got nice decking, fresh decking. 8 foot wide, 19 feet long. I think it's 15 foot, just the flat section. And then this beaver tail is super nice because it's not super steep, you see? And then it's been extended at some point to bring this down even further. And then these ramps slide out, and they're actually a surprisingly long ramp. Like, I can't even pull them out because they basically go out to this tire changer. Like, they come a long ways out. So it's a factory cabin chassis truck. They did a really good job doing the extension. I think I measured, it's like a 4 or 5 foot extension. And then it's all sleeved. Like, you probably can't see, but it's sleeved on the inside as well, the whole way. And then they've done this properly. Can I go up here? Where it's got, whoa. Sorry, the gimbal's going nuts. It's got not 2, but 3 drive shafts. There's the other one there. 1, 2, 3, with steady bearings in between each one. So lots of U-joints to check. I went through them quickly. They seem pretty good. This is all new wood here. There. And then, yeah, this is getting cut off. This is ugly. This is farmer right here. I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is taper this into the cab. Overload springs. The guy just put $2,000 worth of tires on it, like brand new. Still got the lines on them, and then also upgrade. I think these had the 16.5 steel wheels, so it's got the new, not new, but upgrade to this more standard 16-inch steel wheel. I have a plan for this thing. My plan, my vision is skirt this in, obviously taper the front of that so it's nice. Skirt this in with toolboxes, work boxes, little hatches and compartments for all your tools and your straps and chains and ramps and whatever else you need. I'm not sure if I'll do something on the front here. Some guys have like cabinets, or you can put, spare tires up there, and like race tires, not spares for all these. Yeah. What is this thing doing? Needs a winch. So you can winch stuff up here. And I mean, as much as I like a wedge, I own an acreage, so I need something that's actually, to justify it to the wife. We got horses. So I was able to argue this is a good, supplement for a flat deck trailer, because when we go haying, you know how many hay bales you can fit on that thing. Where a wedge is really kind of useless. I want to go to the lumber yard right now. If I need anything longer than a 12-foot, I need basically, because I don't have a long box truck, I need to drag my big enclosed to Home Depot. This will be super sweet for that. Trusses, all kinds of things. This thing will be super handy. And yeah, so I think we'll see. I got to get this thing running. We did get it actually fired up today. We basically, I just poured some gas down the carburetor, hooked a fresh battery up to it, and the thing fired off, lit off. So we got a few things to hook up. It's basically, the story of this thing is, I guess I didn't get to that. Guy that had it, as you can tell, it's not quite complete in here. We're missing a radiator, which is on the back. We got it right there. But this guy was using it, actually hauling his drag car with it, and he's the one that extended the dovetail a little further. And I think he ended up getting a newer rollback or something like that he was using. And this thing was kind of sitting, and his buddy goes, "Hey, what are you doing with that truck?" And he goes, "I don't know." He goes, "I want to buy it." And he goes, "Oh, okay." So he sold it to him. And then about a year later or so, he's noticed the guy wasn't doing anything with it. And he goes, "Hey, can I have that truck back if you're not going to do anything with it?" The guy goes, "Yeah, sure." Goes to get the truck back, and the big block's pulled out, and tranny's pulled, and the guy's used the motor and the tranny for another project. So he's bummed about that, and he liked this thing so much that he bought another 76 Lincoln or something like that. That had the 460 and the C6 in it. I'm getting this all secondhand. This is what he told me. And swapped her in, and then just never got to finishing it. So I kind of didn't know what stage this thing was at. Started tinkering with today. I actually thought I was going to have to do a lot more wiring to get it to even, fire, to get spark. There, look, right there. 460. So my guess is, I don't even know what carbs these are. I'm a Holly guy, so I got a Quadrajet on my boat, but this says Motorcrafts. If anybody wants to tell me a little bit about these, can you rebuild these, or am I better off to just drop a Holly on there? I think Dad has a Holly in his cabinet, brand new. I might just do that. Save us a bunch of messing around. Yeah, I had a 79 Ford when I was, this is probably going back, this 10 years ago, 4x4. And it had a 400 on propane. It's a little bit of a different story than this, but I didn't do much mechanical, and I just 4x4'd it and romped it. So I'm a little bit new to these. I'm actually used to dealing with older school stuff. I was surprised this thing didn't have points in it. It has actually a ignition box there. It's the magnetic pickup in the distributor. So learned that today. And yeah, we got a few things to hook up. We got, this is, I'm assuming, to your alternator. Hook that up. We got some of these that are unhooked. Some are hooked up, some aren't. Another strand one here. Don't know where that goes. This is your tranny cooler line. That's gonna go to the rad. This fuel line's kind of janky up here. So power steering, gotta make sure all that's tight. This is your throttle kick down. That's on the wrong side of the motor. We gotta get that up. And throttle linkage is down there. That's got to come up. So yeah, he's got the lift mount or lift chains that he had in here. So I got to pull those out. Well, basically, I wasn't even really looking for another project, but what happened was I obviously searched for Ramptruck on Facebook, and whenever they pop up, they're always somewhere else. They're always, I mean, very rarely are they even in BC there, because I'm on Ramptruck pages and stuff. They're usually in the States or something like that. And this one pops up, and it was kind of hard to tell. It didn't have many pictures. And I messaged the guy, and I go, where is this thing? And he tells me he's on Ellis Road. And I go, Ellis Road, that sounds familiar. And I punch it in, and sure enough, dude's literally 3 minutes down the road from me. He's on his road connects to my road. So I was like, holy, so I had to go look at it obviously that night. Run down, check it out half in the dark. I didn't buy it on, first time I looked at it. I went back probably 2 or 3 times, kind of slept on it for 2 weeks before I pulled the trigger. And I said, you know what? If this thing was, for sale in Vancouver or Kelowna, I'd be kicking myself trying to figure out how to get it home, because it's not really drivable yet. It's all there. It's too big to tow. But it happened to be in my backyard, and drug it home in 5 minutes with a strap. So it's disc brakes on the front, drums on the back. So I'm hoping, not sure what gears are in it. I'm hoping it cooks along okay. I don't think it has an overdrive. I don't know these C6 trannies, but I hope it doesn't. It'd be nice if it at least did 60. It's stuck at 55. It's got the chicken lights on top, which is cool. But yeah, I'm going to paint it all one color. I mean, it looks like a lot of work, but to me, it's only half a truck to paint. So there's not a ton of body work to do. The most work will be the roof and the hood. There's a few little things in the hood. And it's not a hot rod, so it doesn't need to be perfect. But yeah, I want to make this bed actually less like just a flat bed and actually a cool ramp truck. It's got the twin I-beam in it, so it'd be super easy to airbag. Like, just change those coils out. Trying to figure out what I do with the back. 4-link it, or you pull leaf packs out and then put airbags to take up the rest of the weight, and the leaf packs will basically hold the axle in place. Yeah, different ways you could do that. And then probably do 22-inch Alcoas on this thing. I think that would be sick. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We got this thing running first. And then obviously build a proper headache rack. Like, I like how these cabs are leaned forward. You see how they're leaned forward like that? I think that's cool. Build a headache rack that kind of follows that lean and then follows the contour of the cab, rather than this big square thing. Might torch this thing off sooner than later. It's super farmer. I know this is gonna be a farm truck, but I got more style than that. Yeah, so that is the new project. The garage is getting kind of filled up, but this isn't gonna stay in here. I don't plan on keeping this in here. It doesn't need to be. It's been outside its whole life, so thought at least bring it in here so I can crawl under it with a creeper. And this is basically pretty much most vehicles I have bought have been runners of some kind. I mean, when I went to pick this stupid thing, this Pontiac up, it was supposed to be a runner, and then when I went to pick it up, it wasn't running for some reason. Well, I know why. The guy I bought it from flooded the thing, which is funny. Flooded it so bad he couldn't get running, and I was new to the car, so I didn't know what I started looking at ignition issues, but I basically just drove. I had driven so far to pick it up. I didn't care. I just loaded on the trailer and took her. Figured it couldn't have been too much, too major. This car wasn't a runner when I bought it, but same thing. I kind of took a chance on it and basically all I did is bypassed the neutral safety switch and the thing started. So that was an easy one. So this is kind of I love watching roadkill. So this is kind of, this stupid thing would turn. This is basically gonna be my attempt at a roadkill truck. Basically, drag it home, do some stuff. I gotta run. Basically, we've fired it up, pouring gas down the carb, so we know we got a good motor. So what's supposed to be, the guy pulled out, according to him, was a running, driving car. Fluid looks good in the trans. Oil looks good, so basically I'm gonna do, before I throw the rad in there, I'm just gonna get it fuel plumbed to it, see if I can get it to run on this carburetor, then we'll probably change the carb, and then we'll throw a rad in it. And then we'll worry about tidying up some of the wires and hoses, vacuum hoses. There's a lot of emission stuff on these. I'm not used to that. Holy. But I think most of it we can get rid of. I think it's missing a heater. There's no heater core there. Why do everything I own? I live in Canada. Why is everything I own doesn't have a heater? Heaters all don't work. That is annoying. Especially this one. This one I'd like to use in the winter. Go get hay. I might have to do something about that. Anyways. I'll try and update you guys how it goes. I don't know how much I'm going to video of me tinkering on this thing. I never everybody says, oh, you should film more, you work on things. But my problem is so I'm never sure how things are going to turn out. And I don't want to look like an idiot. So I usually fumble my way through it till it's working, and then I show the end result. Maybe that's cheating, I don't know. But I just don't know how you guys would like watching me screw around with these things. But maybe I will. I don't know. Haven't decided. So stay tuned.